Hi Cancerians, welcome to your reading for July 2024. These books are from the Oracle decks I'm going to be using for today's reading. So we're just going to get straight into it. My throat has suddenly gone very tickly as I've started your reading. I'm not sure why, it's been fine. Excuse me. So yeah, we're going to get into your reading. We're going to start off with a message from the Angels and Ancestors Oracle deck. So we're still in your season, in Cancer season, and by the time you watch this video, I believe we'll have had a new moon in Cancer on Friday the 5th of July. But let's see what the first message is for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising. You have the Sun. That's a beautiful card to get. You've got enjoy, success and happiness. Let's get the screen nice and clear if we can. Okay. Let's get your tarot cards out. So what does Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising need to know for July 2024? Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising, July 2024. What do we need to know? You have the Knight of Swords. I'm getting the words good news. So that could be absolutely anything for anyone. Good news is one message. I don't know if that's going to be part of the whole message. That's just one individual message. Anything else for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising? Five of Cups. Anything else? Two of Pentacles. And you've got the Lovers. Okay, let's get some clarifiers going on this. Two messages have come in so far, and they're a bit odd. Well, one of them's a bit odd. Well, it depends on what end of the what end of things you're on. One message I'm getting for someone is that their romantic relationship could be over. I know that doesn't necessarily sound like good news, but for some people it could. If you're someone who's been in a relationship for a long time and you've kind of wanted it to end, maybe for some of you, your partner actually says this isn't working anymore, I think we should separate. And for some people, that's good news. That's one thing that's come through. Another one that's come through, now this is the one that's odd, is that you might have heard here that somebody else's relationship is over. Yeah, that one's a bit odd. It could be that somebody that you've wanted to, well, put it this way. Okay, there's a few different ways of looking at this. If you've been involved with someone who is connected to someone else and they've kind of been going back and forth deciding if they want to be with you or whatever, and I'm saying this from a very neutral point of view, because obviously you have to be in the individual situation to fully grasp what goes on. So I'm taking a neutral stance just for the purpose of this reading. If you've been with someone who's connected to someone else, they might be telling you that they've made a choice and they're ending things with one person and they want to move forward with you. That's one way of looking at things. It could even be divorce related here. There's not anything to suggest divorce, but obviously for some people it's a difficult experience, but when you finally get through it, that can be happy. For some, you know, if you have a friend, for example, who's in a relationship with somebody, let's go the extreme. Let's say you've got a friend who's in an abusive relationship and they come and tell you that it's over, it's finally over. I'm pretty sure most of us would be ecstatic, because nobody wants someone that they care about to be in an abusive relationship. So that's examples. That's just one or a couple of messages that have come through. Let me clarify and see what else comes in. Knight of Swords, please. Nine of Wands in reverse. I like that because that would be, well, okay. To me, that you could say that that could symbolize someone in a unpleasant at the very least and abusive at the worst relationship in reverse. No more. That's done. They're out of that. I mean, if something is ending here, we haven't got the death card or anything, but if something is ending, the good news can be around something ending because it has been difficult and a struggle. Someone could be coming out of grief, and I don't mean like you've completely locked off and it's like, yay, I'm not grieving anymore, because it doesn't work like that, does it? It takes time. But say if it was a relationship breakup or something, someone could be coming out of that phase where they're in the worst of it, and it's like, you know what, I feel like I've done some recovery, some healing, and now I'm ready to kind of move on and put myself back out there and pursue what I love again or whatever. It could even be grief, as in if somebody passed away and somebody's kind of coming out of the worst part of the grief and they're now feeling like they have the energy and the heart to kind of move forward and do new things in life. Somebody could have come out of depression and feel better, like they're not struggling anymore and trying to have this balancing act where they're maintaining their sanity and they're now ready to feeling motivated. You've got the Chariot. So yeah, okay. Let's see what else comes out. Again, it's sort of good news around a struggle where there's now an opportunity to kind of progress, whatever that is for you. I love that. The Fool has come out. Oops, nearly put down the whole iPad. Right, we've got the Fool. Okay, as I can see, I ripped off my mic. We've got the Fool, which is good because that's a sense of freedom, isn't it? It's the freedom and the openness to go off and do something new. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, which is good as well because it's now the opportunity to, well, there's a self-care element involved in that. And obviously with Cancer season, it is a time for nurturing, and it's when it can be a time of introversion for some, looking after yourself for some, but it's like focusing on what's important, what's valuable, what matters to you, and it's got a nurturing energy about it. And then we've got the Five of Wands in reverse. So again, it feels in this reading that with it being in reverse, it's like the challenges are kind of, hopefully you've overcome them or they've died down. Yeah, okay. Obstacles being removed is another thing that comes to mind as well. Let's look at the Five of Cups for you. Six of Swords, moving on from whatever this was. Try that again. This is a lot of Leo. You know, I was going to say it at the beginning and I wish I'd already said it because it would have looked really cool if I'd said it before. When the Sun came out, which we know the Sun is connected to Leo energy, the Sun rules Leo. I was thinking, I feel Leo energy in this. And what do you have? You have Strength, a Leo card, and you have the Six of Wands. I can't remember what sign the Six of Wands relates to without looking it up in a book that I don't have with me right now. I haven't memorized those things yet, but it is still fire energy. It is still fiery kind of energy, and these two look like kind of like sisters, don't they? When you look at the images, I don't know if you can see it clearly on the screen, but it is that fiery energy. I always feel in this deck, it's almost like she's that Queen of Wands, even though it's not the same. Like when you look at I wouldn't be able to find it right now. It's not the same person, but she gives Queen of Wands energy. And I know Queen of Wands is air. Yeah, she's Aries, but still it's just that fiery energy, and it's giving me connections to Leo. So I don't know if a Leo is relevant here, or Leo season is after Cancer season. So there might be something very relevant in Leo season that where things fully come to fruition, or, you know, if you're not at the point of complete success and happiness now, it might be that in Leo season it becomes more apparent, and this is just like the beginning of things. Let's get one more. But excuse me. There's definitely a sense of moving on, regaining your strength, if you've been through something that sapped your strength and just coming out on top, basically. That's what it looks like here. Oh, wow. That's Leo. That is Leo, King of Wands. Okay. Very strong energy. Just really strong and bright energy there. Anything else? The world. Okay. I mean, don't you love how you've got an image of the world here in the King of Wands card, and this card is the world. So good energy of moving on and just being able to move forward, move into a new cycle. The world is your oyster kind of energy, because you've gotten past that Five of Cups by the look of it. And as I say, there's still a thing about good news. So good news. Well, I mean, it could be that you're giving the good news if you've gotten out of difficulty and you're now in a phase, or moving towards a phase of being a lot happier and life being lighter. You could be sharing this good news that I've overcome such and such, or things are better, or I'm just happy, or whatever. Right, Two of Pentacles. You have I'm just trying to think, because they came out kind of sideways, but I'll take them up right. You've got the Lovers and the Page of Wands. It's like a renewed sense of passion, probably after a period where it was just like quite trying to keep everything together, possibly with that Two of Pentacles. For me, sometimes, I mean, it's the balancing act, isn't it? Sometimes it is about just managing the day-to-day. You haven't got time to be happy or sad or anything. You just got to keep going, and it's renewed. See, fire energy again with the Page of Wands. The Lovers is Gemini, isn't it? A lot of fire energy, but renewed sense of passion and energy and vibrancy, even to, you know, where you can go beyond just dealing with the day-to-day or whatever struggles you've been trying to balance out. You've got the Hermit. It's in reverse. For me, depending on what else is going on in the reading, with it being in reverse, it's a time to come out, to put yourself back out there, really. Where there have been struggles, challenges, etc., you probably have had a period where you were, well, isolated is the thing that comes to mind. I was going to say deep in thought, but I don't really think there could be an element of having a lot of time thinking to yourself about things. You know, like even if you've had days or day-to-day life where you're very busy trying to hold shit together, it might be that when you go to bed at night, you're deep in thought, contemplating things, doing your shadow work, mulling over what you want to happen in life, processing grief if that's something you've experienced, because it is just being deep in thought. But it's time to come out of that now and kind of focus on, I would say, the physical and practical side of life, and what you can do, how you can have fun. Okay. Let's just get one more. Fire energy again. There's so much fire energy in this reading. And I mean, it stands out. Even if there are other things going on here, well, yeah, you got the Five of Wands up there, Nine of Wands up there. There's just a lot of fire. Lot of fire in this. Yeah, again, renewed. I already said it, didn't I? It's kind of like having that renewed passion. The Ace of Wands is passion. It's new chapters, inspiration, creativity even. Let's look at the Lovers. I don't think there's any advice in this, really. I guess the only guidance would be things are going in the right direction, because there's nothing. Yeah, if you're not already in this state, it's looking like it's moving towards that. Let's look at the Lovers. Seven of Wands. Nine of Cups. I like that energy together. And you've had, I think it was when I first started the channel, it might have been the first, second or third reading I did for you. There was or it could have been further on than that, I can't remember that far back. It was I started the channel in July last year as well, actually, I believe. It was a fighting spirit energy, and that's what I got from that. I wasn't sure. I didn't say it straight away because I wasn't sure with the Seven of Wands. I wanted to see what would come out after, but because you've got the Nine of Cups there, I definitely feel that's that fighting spirit type energy again that you had at some point last year. Seven of Cups again, being open to new dreams, new opportunities. It's just a really good energy, and as I say, there would have been struggles in the past and grief and whatever you've had to deal with and challenges, but it's coming out of that and And it makes sense because other readers have said this as well, that, and there's different people have different theories, and I'll take all of them. We have the new year in the Western world is January, the 1st of January. That's the new year, isn't it? You can look at it astrologically, like whenever your birthday is. Yeah, your birthday, because we're in Cancer season and Cancer reading. That's your new year as an individual, so you can take that too. Who else? There was another theory as well about when your new year is. It? Oh, I can't remember now. There's another theory, and I can't remember what it is, and I heard about it a couple of days ago. No, I'm not going to remember it now, unfortunately, and that's really going to bother me because it was important. I don't know if it was Bummy Spirit, who used to be known as Water Baby Tarot, that she brought it up. It's something. Is it to do with the houses, or it's not the North Node? Is it? Bear with me one moment. Okay, I just said a thing. I think she said her theory, or the theory that she brought up, was that our individual new year is whatever our first house is, when our first house begins in astrology. So say, like, for example, my first house is Leo. I'm Leo rising, so Leo is my first house, if I remember correctly. So another new year for me in my life would be whatever date, the exact date or whatever it is that Leo is in my first house, when that cycle comes around each year. Anyway, let's move on from this. I'll just get one more card for this, sorry, and then we'll get you some guidance. Wow, look, brilliant. 3 of Cups. It's a card of celebration, it's joy, it's shared happiness in that 3 of Cups. So again, putting yourself out there. And you've got the 2 of Wands. He's got the world in his, am I looking at the right reading, or am I thinking of the world? I did say the world in this. Again, he's literally in this card got the world in his hands. The world is his oyster, or their oyster. Fire energies again, 2 of Wands. Okay, there's not much more I can say. It just looks good news, moving forward, moving to a period of happiness, openness. The world is in your hands. Yeah. So let's see what comes out with the Power of Surrender deck. What else does Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising need to know for July 2024? And if I didn't already say it, I think I forgot to. The point of this whole thing about going into a period of happiness, success, blah, blah, blah. If you've been through grief, etc., whatever, it's a completion of a cycle, isn't it? And then going into a period of happiness, joy, it's a new cycle, it's a new year for you, if that makes sense. Anyway, let's see what comes out with your advice. What the hell? Look at that. That's amazing, that is. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap, you got the Fool there, into an exciting new world. How many times did I say the world in this reading? Of possibilities. That's amazing, that is. I love when the cards do that. Okay, well, I'll get you a couple more. Let's see what they say. And this is this a gateway? No, it's a window. It's a window to success, I think. Yeah, window to success. Okay. 2 more. 2 more cards for Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising. So you have surrender negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say thank you for sharing and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. So even if things are looking good for us and we're in a really good place and we are in a phase of our lives where we're really happy, we're human. Our emotions go up and down. Negative thoughts can still slip in here and there. And so that's just a reminder of how to handle, how to handle that, even if something negative does come in or doubt slip in, to deal with that. And don't sort of, because I know sometimes if people are pessimistic, if we are pessimistic, I can be quite pessimistic probably a lot of the time, to be frank. Well, I'm probably lying there, I'm probably 50-50, but if you veer more on the side of being pessimistic, even if you're going through a period of happiness, any little thing might trigger you to think, oh well, it's all going to go to shit now. And it's kind of a heads up. Don't let any little negative thought or any little negative thing that comes in ruin Even if somebody does something that pisses you off or that puts a spanner in the works, don't let that ruin the success and happiness that you're moving towards. You've also got surrender. Notice how there's so much orange, like the fiery sort of colors in these as well. Surrender your fear of change. The universe is reminding you that you are cared for always. Whether you're afraid of a change in your job, your health, or a relationship, or if you fear aging or death, repeat the affirmation, I have faith that all is well. So it's just about embracing the change. Again, if any doubts come in, you got to keep moving forward and it looks good. So yeah, I will leave that reading there for you. Hopefully that was helpful. Thank you for supporting the channel and take care. Thank you for watching, should I say as well, and take care. Hi Scorpio, welcome to your reading for July 2024. So we've got the books here from the Oracle decks I'm going to be using for your reading today. We're going to get straight into it. So we're still in Cancer season, and by the time you watch this reading, we should have had a new moon in Cancer, Friday the 5th of July. Let's see what messages there are for Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising. And I just realised that I've done your reading. You're my 5th one. That I forgot to put the little, I like to put the little card for whatever sign it is there by the plant, and I forgot to do that. It's not a big deal, but yeah, I do like to have that there. I don't know, it just, yeah, I just like it. Anyway, what's the message or messages for Scorpio, Sun, Moon or Rising? Okay, we have Direction Guardian, choose your path. Just get the screen clear. Okay, let's get your tarot cards out. So what else does Scorpio, Sun, Moon, right, the 6 of Swords just fell off the top of the deck as I pulled the deck towards me. You may, sorry, I don't know why that keeps on going blurry. It's because I'm moving it around, isn't it? You may have Cancer as your Sun, Moon or Rising, in addition to Scorpio being your Sun, Moon or Rising, because the Direction Guardian card, it is kind of similar imagery to the World card in tarot, I believe. No, it's not actually. It's the Wheel of Fortune, isn't it? I think it's closer to the Wheel of Fortune in terms of having all these different things. Without looking at the card, I'm not sure. I think it's the Wheel of Fortune actually that usually has the bull, the Taurus bull, lion. Is that eagle or something, and then an angel on it. But the World was the first thing that came to mind. And then with the 6 of Swords, it's an energy of moving on. And there was quite a big theme in the Cancer reading of moving on. It could just be because we're in Cancer season that the energies are similar as well. It's the World actually. Yeah, it's the World. That's interesting. Right, anyway, I'm going to put that back and I'm going to get on with your reading. So, Scorpio, Sun, Moon and Rising, what do you need to know? No. Okay, the Hierophant came out and it does not feel right one little bit, so I'm going to try that again. Okay, I'm going to take these. Right, we've had some fly all over the place, but there's 2 that have landed on my hand like that, so I am going to take them. And these cards are cards of learning, or can be connected to learning. And with Choose Your Path, you might be choosing what you want to learn next, whether it is literally to do with studying, life lessons even, training in something new. Let's see what else comes up for you. So Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising. Could be just choosing, deciding, coming up with ideas with what you want to commit to next, what path you want to commit to next. Okay, I will take these. Your cards are slightly chaotic, the way they're coming out. So I don't know if your mind feels a little bit chaotic in terms of choosing, or there's too much choice or something where you're like, I just don't know which one to pick. But it's a little bit chaotic. You've got the 7 of Pentacles there, which is assessment. It can be a card of assessment. 8 of Swords. 6 of Wands. Okay. Let's get the clarifiers out on this and see what comes up. So Knight of Pentacles, Page of Swords, We've got the Hanged Man in reverse. What comes after that? Oh, I wish I'd said it before the card came out, you know. We've got the Seven of Swords, okay. 1 minute. Sometimes the Hanged Man in reverse for me can be a little bit of avoidance. And I didn't say immediately because I just wanted to see what else came up, and I kind of wish I'd said it. But with the Seven of Swords, that can be avoidance too, can't it? Because when you connect it with lies, deceit, etc., it can be avoidance. So like if there's a decision to be made on what choice you want to, what path you want to choose, what you want to study, what you want to learn, what you want to commit to, there might be a little bit of reluctance or resistance with that. That's one way of looking at it. For others, it might be the exact opposite, and being willing just to take a risk, being kind of willing to take a risk on what path you want to choose, because the Hanged Man upright is more of the careful consideration, you know, like the deep contemplation, looking at all perspectives. In reverse, sometimes that can be where you come out of that. I know it sounds weird saying it as exact opposites, but it's two sides of the well, is it two sides of the same coin? Well, two ends of the spectrum: avoidance and just willing to just be the fool, take the risk and be the fool energy. Seven of Swords can be risky behavior as well, so it's either one or the other, either avoiding making the decision or being willing to take a risk in making the decision. As I say, the Hanged Man in reverse, it's like it's coming out of that phase of contemplation. Next to the Seven of Swords, it's like, right, I'm just going to go for it. You'll know which one is you, whichever one resonates with you. Oh, I like this. So we've got the Queen of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Judgment card, right? So with these cards at the top here, someone is either doing this or the reading is a heads up to do this. So with the Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, overall, it's either a need to to think about, to have your ideas, to brainstorm whatever and decide and make a choice if you've been avoiding it a little bit, or it is that you're ready for this now, you're ready and you're just doing it. With the Queen of Cups, the Nine of Cups, and the Judgment card, it's like it is answering the call. There was another way I was what calls to you. I was thinking what calls to you. So either you've made the decision to follow the path, because with this particular Judgment card, for me, I often see this particular Judgment card as the path, being on the right path, following a particular path. And it's mainly with this Judgment card, not ones from other decks. So it's either choosing the path that calls to you, that you've made your decision, and emotionally there's something emotional here that your heart is called to do it, or it's telling you, if you've been avoiding making the decision, it probably is more about, as much as you're having to come up with ideas and make a decision, thinking about a decision and choosing what to commit to practically, to let your heart come into that as well. And think about what your heart is called to. What do you feel called to? What path do you feel called to? So that could be anything. Again, if this message feels like it resonates, then you apply it as it's relevant. Seven of Pentacles, I said, is often about assessing, I'd say, the practical side of things more often than not. How do I do it? What do I want to do? That kind of thing. Where do I go? Who do I turn to? Etc. What's involved? No, that's too many. It's like 6 cards have just come out. Let's try that again. For the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Moon, which, if you're making a choice to follow a path, it's always going to be an element of facing the unknown. Even if you have an idea of what you're going to be dealing with, you're not going to know until you literally do it, are you? Somebody might be sitting here thinking, do I actually want to face the unknown? There might be a bit of reluctance in that sense of things, because the unknown, it can bring up fears, can't it? So fear, what did I just say? It can bring up fears. And then we've got the Devil. So it might be facing some of those fears. And then we've got the Two of Wands, which is about making the choice, isn't it? It's like I said it in the Cancer reading, the world is your oyster, but you get to choose what you focus. And I feel like saying you get to choose what you focus on. Do you focus on the fact that the world is in your hands and you have the choice? Or do you focus on the fears and the unknown? And also, I feel like saying to someone, or feel that someone is weighing up the pros and cons as well. Anything else? God, which way was, I think that was in reverse, so I'll keep it in reverse. We've got the 10 of, which way should this be actually? We've got the 10 of Pentacles, and okay, I get it. We've got the 10 of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords, and that does fit in with me with the fears, where when you're making a choice, sometimes it's like logic and practicality versus what your heart wants, isn't it? Where you weighing up the pros and cons and thinking, yeah, my heart might want this, but it makes no sense, or it's a recipe for failure or whatever. And you might be thinking, what's the more practical option? What is likely to have, or do you perceive that will have more stability, longevity, that sort of thing? But consider with that Knight of Swords, whatever the assessment is that you're making, whatever you choose to do, is it going to be in alignment with your truth? Will it feel like you're being authentic? Will it feel like you're being yourself? Will it feel like there's integrity in the decision that you make? Are you going to have to wear a mask to step into this role or to commit to this path? Will you be able to be yourself and feel free to be yourself? I love how I just said that, and then, yeah, it's probably because I saw the Eight of Swords there. Let's look at the Eight of Swords. That double flipped, that did. It was the Emperor, but it double flipped. It flipped itself back up the right way. So try that again. Just bear with me. We've got one that's flown on the floor. We've got the Knight of Wands. Sorry, Nine of Wands, not Knight of Wands. I think there's a need to free. It is about freeing. Well, actually, at the beginning of the reading, I forgot to say, why didn't I say it earlier? When the Eight of Swords first came up, the song by En Vogue, Free Your Mind. It is Free Your Mind, isn't it? Free Your Mind came up. And I can't remember all of the lyrics to that song, but I think there's something in there about not following the crowd or following the rules or something. Okay. Should I post it in the community group? Possibly, I might do if I remember to do it. But yeah, you've got the Ace of Swords as well. So there's something about freeing your mind. And again, the Ace of Swords can be connected with authenticity. So whatever choice you make or whatever path you commit to, it needs to be in alignment with your authenticity and your truth. Anything else? Five of Pentacles. Six of Wands. There really is something within this in terms of choosing your path, if it's going to be really authentic to you, because if not, then it's kind of like you're rejecting yourself and you're rejecting true success. Because yeah, you could say if you were going for a new job or something and it paid really well and there was a really it had a really big important job title or something, and you can look at that and say, oh well, that's successful because I'm getting paid really well, I've got a really good job title, blah blah blah. But if that's not who you really are, then that isn't really authentic to you, and it is you. If really in your heart you want to be doing something different, it's rejecting who you are, and it's rejecting what success actually means to you. So yeah, that's something to consider. Let's look at the Six of Wands, because that Six of Wands is in reverse twice here, isn't it? So really, I think the main thing is about doing whatever your heart is being called to. Obviously, there are going to be practical things and logical things that need to be taken into consideration as well. But it's kind of like let the heart be the guide, and then use the logic and the practicality to make it work. You've got the King of Wands there. Anything else? The Lovers. Okay, yeah. Choosing make sure you choose, well, the guidance is in this to choose make sure you're choosing what you really want, and not what you feel you have to choose or what somebody else has said you should choose. Choose what you really want to choose. Choose the path that you really want to choose, that you really connect with, that fires you up. There's the Wheel of Fortune. And we've got the King of Swords. Again, the whole thing about authenticity. I feel like saying with that Wheel of Fortune, make sure it's a positive change or a change for the better. And I'm getting that set, is it fortune favors the brave or something like that? So in the choice that you make, obviously if you're choosing what you, the King of, I think the King of Wands actually can be associated with bravery. It's that fire energy, isn't it? Yeah, that fortune favors the brave is coming to mind. So whatever you choose, even if it's the sort of doubts or little worries that, oh, this is a bit too extreme or frivolous or whatever, obviously, again, use your own discernment and take everything into consideration. But that fortune favors the brave is coming to mind. And as I say, King of Swords is a card of authenticity. And it's also do your research too, I think. So whatever your passions are, yep, stay true to that, but also do your research, whatever that means to you. So let's get a couple more. Let's get a couple of oracle cards. I can't speak now for some reason. Oracle cards from the Power of Surrender deck for you. Okay, one's fallen out already. It's in reverse, but it says, surrender to the beauty of the natural world, take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. So for someone, it may be about needing to sort of step into nature to help make the decision or to clear your head. For some, whatever path you're choosing could literally be connected to like the natural world and you know, etc. And also there's a thing about choosing what feels natural to you as well. And I'm getting the Empress image in there, that whole choose you, that's come up quite a few times in all these readings. Yeah, choose what feels natural to you. What if you're making a decision and something feels forced, so I've just made up a word there. I think I meant to say forced and I said false at the same time, both. So if something feels false and forced, yeah, I think I'm saying it right now, forced or false or both, then that probably isn't the right decision because you're going to go with your gut with it as well. Okay, I just made up a word. Couple more cards for you. Surrender to what is, flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. And that can come into that forced energy as well, can't it? It's like, again, I give this example so many times about jobs. You know, if you're in a job that you really just feel this is just not me, I don't like working here, I'd feel like this just doesn't feel purposeful, it doesn't make sense, I don't belong here, but you're trying to force yourself to like it and stick it out. I mean, obviously, if it's going to be detrimental, you know, don't like immediately say, oh, I'm out of here and just walk out. Time and a place for everything, as I said in the last reading, but yeah, still give it some consideration. But if that's how you feel, when it says surrender to what is, it's like you either accept the fact that this isn't you and stop forcing it and look at other choices and other paths, or if you're going to stay in it, how can you stay in it and feel at peace with it? But there has to be acceptance. It's the same in relationships. If you're in a relationship where things are just completely going to shit and no matter how many times you try to work things out, it just isn't working, you have to accept it for what it is at that point. You have to accept, and relationships, it can be romantic, it can be with family as well, where you have to accept this just isn't working. I'm not going to change myself. They're not going to change their self. We just keep, is it butting heads? What can we do? Sometimes you have to distance yourself and that's the only way. Or in romantic relationships, sometimes it's just not going to work. We've tried everything and it's just not going to work. So you have to surrender to the fact that you either can choose to move on from each other and part ways, or to be frank, if it's a romantic relationship, stick with what isn't working and accept that it's just going to be shit, to be frank. But what would you do? Would you choose to stay where it's not working and be unhappy, or would you choose to leave and find happiness elsewhere? Yeah, so also it can be about accepting what your heart is calling you to as well. You know, like if you're resisting and saying, oh, I want to do this but I don't think it's going to work, blah blah blah, you might have to accept, look, this is what you really want, at least try and see what you can do with it, and then if it doesn't work, at least you can say that you tried, or it could be successful. Let's get a final card for you. So you've got two more. You have surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. And yes, it could be about relationships and romantic relationships, but I think more so in this reading, that fear of intimacy where it says open your heart. Again, open your heart to whatever it is that calls to you. You know, be open to that. You've also got surrender obsessive thinking. If you're obsessing about a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. So again, if you're struggling to choose a path and there's a lot of back and forth and trying to figure out what the perfect solution is, there's never a perfect solution. Well, probably maybe 1% of the time there is. If there's not a perfect solution, you know, it says turn the dilemma over to spirit. If you believe in praying and speaking to guides and that sort of thing, do that. But the point is, the obsessive thinking and going back and forth isn't really going to help. There's a need to find a way to get that clarity, isn't there, without just constantly being in your head about it. And it may be, again, that surrendering to whatever it is that calls to you, or yeah. So I'm going to leave that there for you. Thank you for supporting the channel as always. Thank you for watching and take care. Hi Pisces, welcome to your reading for July 2024. So these are the oracle decks I'll be using for your reading today. We're going to pretty much get straight into it. Just bear in mind, I think by the time you watch this video, we will have had a new moon in Cancer. I think that's on Friday the 5th of July. And we are still in Cancer season as well. We're going to get a message for you, first of all, from the angels, ancestors, and oracle. Angels, ancestors, oracle card deck. You're my first reading of the day. I haven't warmed up yet, but we'll get through it. So let's see what your first message is. Just bear with me a moment. We've got a message that keeps on coming up on the screen and blocking everything. That's fine. So messages for Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising for July 2024. Oh, this is one of my favorite cards in the deck. This is She-Wolf, Unleash the Wild Within. I mean, I absolutely love wolves. I don't know why. I love wolves and I love elephants and cats. Those are the main ones. But yeah, this is a great card to get. So I'll just put it there to unblur first of all. And strangely, at one point in time, I became obsessed with the concept of howling at the moon. I haven't actually howled at the moon, but I have sort of been at home and had moments where I've howled just for the hell of it. I'm not sure what it achieved, but it felt good, to be honest. So yeah. Right, let's get your tarot cards out and see what we get. And you're on the bottom of the deck. As soon as I picked it up, Page of Cups, I believe, is more closely connected with Pisces than the other signs. And I can see I've blurred that again. Okay, so what does Pisces need to know for July? Okay, that was quite an aggressive fly out of the deck. You've got, wow, okay, I mean, that is aggressive energy anyway. 5 of Wands, Knight of Swords. And you know what, the first thing, and you know, it does go with this energy, because this would be I can't think of another word for aggressive, but yeah, let's just go for aggressive now. And I mean that in a positive sense, rather than aggressive as in somebody being an arsehole. The first thought that comes to mind is the words shut it down, or shutting it down. It almost feels like well, one thought is, you know, like if there are kids that are arguing or something and then the parent comes in and just shuts it down, that comes to mind. Or another thought is, if, you know, if the family or friend group or whatever was having a disagreement about something and there was just complete chaos, and then somebody comes in with some truth, possibly, I was going to say harsh truth, and it could be a harsh truth, some kind of truth, and shuts down the argument. Those are just a couple of thoughts that are coming in. It could even be you know, like mentally, if there's a lot of chaos going on with you mentally or physically in your life, you're just doing too much or whatever, there's some sort of truth that comes in. It kind of feels, it could be external. The Knight of Swords could be an external truth. Kind of feel like it's you. So like if it was in your own life or in your own mind, there's a truth that you have that shuts it all down, that shuts down the chaos. But let's see what else comes out for you. What else does Pisces need to know? What else does Pisces, Sun, Moon and Rising? It double flipped. It didn't quite come out. I mean, I look at it, the Emperor, okay. That would be the parent that comes and shuts it down. It didn't come out properly because it flipped back on itself. But yeah, that would be that energy that could shut anything down. What does Pisces, Sun, Moon or Rising need to know? Right, we've got the Nine of Cups here. Anything else? Something about resistance is here as well, where in relating to the Knight of Wands, it can be, you know, like if someone's been resistant to a truth, to a particular truth, it's where the truth just kills off any resistance. That's another thing. Right, anything else we need to know for Pisces? Okay, oh, I like these energies together. We've got Temperance and we have the Six of Swords. And both of these cards are, to me, especially together, the energies of kind of peace, aren't they? And to be frank, I've done readings probably in the last month or couple of months where the Nine of Cups for me has come up. No, I don't mean for me personally, but within the reading, it's come up as peace of mind. Let's get the clarifiers out and see what else comes up for you. Let's look at that Five of Wands and Knight of Swords first of all. I don't know why I'm getting the word and the thought of bitch slap in my mind. Yeah. So I don't know if you're going to be bitch slapping someone with truth, or it could be bitch slapping yourself with some truth. It's not a term that have I ever used it in my life? Maybe once or twice, I can't even remember, but that came to mind. Right, Five of Wands, Knight of Swords. What do we need to know for Pisces? Okay, yeah. You've got the Ace of Wands. I think I can see where this is going, to be honest, with that in reverse, but let's get a few more out. Up, okay. The Star, I like that. Yeah, it's all these three. Nine of Cups, Ace of Wands, the Star, they're giving me a similar energy. Let's just get a couple more and see what it says. Try that again, that did not feel right. Although I should have taken it actually, but let's see. What else do we need to know for the Five of Wands and the Knight of Swords? You have the Sun, good energy as well. Yeah. Wow. Who else got such happy energy? I think it was Cancer. And by that, what I mean is in their reading, so if you have any other relevant Cancer placements, you might want to look that up as well, is that I picked up that they'd been through a difficult time and it was like a new cycle for them, where they were now sort of coming into a period where they've overcome that, whatever the sadness or challenges or whatever they were dealing with, them, they were coming into a time now where they were just going to be focused on their happiness basically and success. And obviously we can't, happiness is, well, my perspective is happiness is moments. Like you can overall be at peace, have peace of mind and say that you feel happy, but it kind of comes in moments, doesn't it? Really, it's not like you just on, you know, like on a oh God, I don't know why I'm thinking of this. This is a weird way of putting it. You know, like on a heart monitor or something, or a life monitor, where they have the line when it's flat lines and it's just a straight line. I don't know why I brought that into it, but happiness isn't linear. That's what I'm trying to think of. Happiness is not just linear, that you're happy and then that's it and it just stays like that. There are ups and downs and, you know, different things can happen, but you can have peace of mind and you can have a lot of happy moments, and within yourself you feel reasonably happy with things, even when other shit comes in and, you know, you have the ups and downs. Okay, let's have a look at this. Five of Wands. If there's been any resistance, you've had any resistance or even suppressed parts of yourself, as I say, this Knight of Swords is that energy that's coming in to shut that down, shutting down any doubts, any resistance, that sort of prevented you from being you, is something that comes to mind, and going for what it is that you want and doing what you want and focusing on your happiness. And it could be that they're with the Five of Wands, so it is often other people, isn't it? It can be other people around you that have impacted things, and you kind of, whatever truth you have that comes in about your happiness, it shuts them down so that you can, you know, fulfill your needs. The Five of Wands could also represent just different things that happen in life. You know, sometimes people go through a rough patch where it just seems like one thing after the other is just complicated and challenging. And as I say, there may be a truth that comes in that kind of helps to, again, shut the only word I can think of is shut it down. And feel free, if you want to leave a comment, if this resonates with you, to let me know what this, well, you don't have to tell your private business obviously, but if something comes up and there's a truth and it shuts it down, you know, feel free to leave a comment to let me know that that resonates, because that is the strongest word that is coming in, or words that are coming in, is shutting it down. But however, whatever gets shut down or whatever resistance is shut down, it helps you to fulfill your sense of happiness and your desires. As you can see, the Ace of Wands is in reverse, so that's where there's a need to for a change or whatever, or truth or whatever to come in to turn the Ace of Wands upright, which then leads to the Star, which is the desires, the Sun, happiness, success, Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment. And if you are shutting something down, I talked about bitch slapping someone or something or whatever, that is where that she-wolf would come in, because that's where you just, I don't want to say you just don't, I mean, I suppose it is kind of like you don't care, but you just do what you got to do. It's just that wild, free, primal energy that, yeah, I mean, what else can I say about that? It's it's a fearless energy. The wolf energy, to me, it's fearless. The wolf follows its instincts and it's fearless. So let's move on to that Nine of Cups for you. I mean, again, that's desires, happiness, satisfaction. What do we need to know about that Nine of Cups? Somebody very specifically is probably leaving some kind of drama behind. Just looking at the Five of Wands, I mean, that is drama going on there. And then you've got the Six of Swords kind of moving away to calmer water. So that is potentially leaving drama behind. I like this. We've got the Two of Swords here, and when the Two of Swords shows up in reverse, sometimes it is about no more confusion. It's not there's not two truths that you're having to deal with anymore, or conflict, mental conflict. That's out of the window, and you can focus on your sense of satisfaction when you get that, and love it. That came up reversed as well. Nine of Swords, no more stress. So yep, leaving drama behind, anxiety, whatever it is. Let's get a couple more for that Nine of Cups for you. And if you're struggling, if you are feeling this Five of Wands energy at present, and you haven't gotten to a point where you feel like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to deal with this, I would say that what the reading is saying is to step into this she-wolf energy. And you know what? I think I'm going to get the rest of the cards out and I'm going to read this. I haven't for the others, but I feel like it's necessary to read the message from the book for you for that card. It might help someone, hopefully. So Nine of Cups, the Tower. You know what? I keep saying it, don't I? I love the Tower. I probably should not love the Tower because it can be very destructive. But this particular Tower in the, which deck is this? It's my favourite deck. And I can't even remember what it's called. It's not Spellcaster. You know, that's awful. I can't remember the deck. It's my favourite. My mind has just gone blank now. Which is Wisdom Tarot? No? Okay. Everyday Witch Tarot. The book's behind me. How could I forget that? It's my favourite deck. Anyway, this particular Tower card, I always, well, often think, and it looks like she's the one that's caused the tower. Look at that little smirk on her face. She looks really mischievous. It's chaotic. But I take it as it was necessary that she had to do that. I don't feel like she was malicious. Well, especially in this reading, it's like she had to do what she had to do. She had to shut it down, basically. And I feel that is part of that she-wolf energy for you. So I've said it before when I've done readings for myself sometimes where the towers come up, and I've said, yeah, I'm the tower. I was the tower in that situation. And that's what you may have to be. You may have to be the tower in the energy. You may have to be the one that is destructive, hopefully not maliciously, and shut something down. Anything else to get your own sense of satisfaction for your own benefit and for your own peace of mind? We have Eight of Wands. I love that. I love the fact that that is with that. So we've got the Eight of Wands here, and that is, this particular Eight of Wands for me represents chaos. You know, sometimes the Eight of Wands can be about communication, movement, etc. This one is often just pure chaos for me, and that's where she can't handle it. But it's like you have to bring that tower energy in to deal with the chaos. Let's look at the Temperance card, which, I mean, as I say, it's a card often of peace, of healing, balancing things back out, of alchemy as well. So you've got one here, Three of Cups. The words restoring harmony specifically are coming to mind. You've got the Three of Cups there. So if it is something that involves other people, a situation that involves other people, it's almost like I feel that you would be the one to somehow restore the harmony. As I say, it's likely that you bring in some particular truth. If not you, then someone else, but harmony is restored within the group. This can also be as well that once you've done whatever you have to do, come in as the tower, use your she-wolf energy, and that refers to whether you're a male or female. It's just an energy, isn't it? What was I going to say? Once you've restored that harmony, it's a time to, again, it's to focus on your sense of satisfaction, celebration, even fun as well, enjoyment, focusing on that instead of all the chaos. And we've got the Hierophant there. So I almost feel like I know I mean, I love the fact that this came up, was in Cancer's reading as well for this month, where it was more about the sense of meditation and peace in the card than the usual things like the spiritual teaching and what else, rules and stuff like that. It almost feels like, I wonder if you're going to be almost like the teacher or spiritual teacher in this situation, if you're the one bringing in some truth. I mean, it could be that you learn something, but I almost feel like or it could be someone else coming in as a teacher, or I don't even want to say a teacher, but some sort of authority type person that just is able to restore the harmony. You know, like sometimes you have particular people that are just really good mediators, I guess, where they can just step into a room where things are absolutely going to shit, and just they can say one thing, they give you one nugget of truth, and it just settles everything somehow. So yeah, I don't know if this is you or someone else. I kind of feel like it might be you, and it might be, for some, it might even be unknowingly. I don't know if you've ever been in a situation where you've said something, like you just said what you felt, you didn't have any intention of anything, you had no intention with it at all except to just express how you feel, and somehow it's the wisest thing the people around you have ever heard, and they're like, oh wow, okay, yeah. So I don't know. I will point out there could be something work. I think the reason why I'm thinking work related here, if there's chaos in a work environment or something, and that might be what this is all about for someone as well. Yeah, that comes to mind. I'm not sure why I'm thinking that. I think because I've probably been in situations in work where that has happened, actually, where I've unknowingly somehow calmed something down, like I didn't have a plan, I just said or did such and such, and it was like, oh, okay, didn't expect that. Let's get one more for that Temperance card. I'm going to try that again. You've got three that came out that don't feel right to me. Page of Wands, Six of Cups, Three of Wands. Something about that doesn't feel right, so I'm going to try that again. Right, we've got two more. We've got the Hanged Man And we've got the Judgment card. I like the fact that the Hanged Man is there in reverse in particular, because again, it gives that energy of, it's almost sharing something that you've kept to yourself, some truth or nugget of wisdom that you wouldn't maybe not even have considered it to be any form of wisdom or whatever. You just shared it, because the Hanged Man upright, it's where he keeps something to himself. He's learning, I can't even say observing, can I? He's just in his own thoughts. But in reverse, it's where he lets it out. And then you've got the Judgment card, and it's like it changes the course of things. It changes the course of things. So again, if you've come and shut something down and restored harmony or created harmony, it's now a new opportunity to focus on the lighter side of things. Let's look at the Six of Swords. They all keep falling. We've got the Seven of Swords, the Hermit, and the Five of Cups. Get one more for that. I've got an idea what that's about. Just get one more. Okay, I think I know what that means anyway. Yeah, okay, Temperance is back again. Right, I've got a couple of ways of looking at this now. So one thing I would say is, for anyone who's in a challenging situation where it's almost like you know that you need to say something or put your foot down or whatever, and you're avoiding it, it's kind of a heads up that that's probably not going to be the best thing for you. Avoiding it is probably not going to be the most beneficial thing for you. That's just one little thing I'm getting from the Seven of Swords, the Hermit, and the Five of Cups. As I say, there's a need to let that she-wolf energy out rather than to try and run away from any issue. The other message that I'm getting, just bear with me a minute. The Six of Swords and the Seven of Swords together, for me, I mean, each of them individually is a card of escape at times. So together, for me, that's an escape, kind of an escape in a way from whatever the drama or challenge was. And again, that gives you time to process things and have your own sense of peace of mind, because for me, the Hermit can be a sense of peace of mind. With the Five of Cups there, although there may be some sort of disappointment within this, like, as I say, it's not about going in and shutting things down and bitch slapping people with truth or whatever with the intention of being malicious about it, but it can get people's back up, can't it? Even if you don't intend to do that, it can get people's back up, or it can impact relationships as well. You know, sometimes you might express how you feel to someone and they're just so disappointed that they end up not wanting to talk to you ever again. So there may be some sort of disappointment, but you know, there's that whole cutting your losses type energy sometimes with the Five of Cups. It may be about cutting your losses. You can then I mean, there was an energy of kind of starting again here with that Judgment card. It's like a new opportunity to focus on other things, to build new foundations. And as I say, you got the type of peace of mind card with the Temperance card. Can even be healing if it involves other people and there's an opportunity to kind of bring in the peace and start again and build a new foundation with them. Then yeah, you've got that there as well, restoring that harmony and healing the situation. So I'm going to leave it there. I don't think there's anything else I can add at this point in time. As I say, I'm going to read the She-Wolf card. And I'm going to get some oracle cards as well. So let's look up that She-Wolf energy. Right, so it says, let your wild side up and out, unleash your talents and your desires. The She-Wolf is a powerful shamanic soul who is half wolf and half woman. She is the alpha female who is not afraid to stand out from the crowd, or in this case, pack. She is wild, unfiltered, and unfettered. She encourages you not to be trapped by the limiting factors of weaker members of the pack or those who are trying to hunt you down because you have gifts they don't like or understand. She represents the energy of the wilderness and the unknown and encourages you to be free and unchained and go beyond boundaries. Release the animal energy within and track down what you need to do to express your true self. The extended message says, you are being rewilded at this time, guided to connect with your rebellious heart, the part of you that likes to break boundaries and go beyond them completely. If you've been holding back on your hopes or dreams, you're being encouraged to chase after them now. Let the wolf energy within help you track down what direction you want to go in, and don't let any traps or hunters get in the way of your freedom or your growth. The life you want is here. This bit where it says traps, any traps or hunters getting in your way, that's almost bringing that to mind with the Six of Swords and Seven of Swords. If you've been in any situations, if anybody's tried to trap you in any way, physically or with words, however that resonates with you, this rebellious thing, I was kind of wanting to laugh when that came up, because a thought that came into my mind was Rebel Moon, and I'm thinking, what's Rebel Moon? Where have I heard that before? I know I've heard it. I don't know if it's a tarot reader or a band or a TV show or something, but I feel like Rebel Moon might be relevant. I'll have to look it up myself after this because I can't remember what it is. Right, we're going to get you some cards from the Power of Surrender deck. Was it Rebel? It wasn't even, did I say Rebel Moon or Rebel Wolf? It might be both actually is relevant. I think it was Rebel Wolf, but it could be Rebel Moon as well. That might be relevant to someone. Right, Oracle cards from the Power of Surrender deck. Surrender obsessive thinking. If you're obsessing about a person or situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. This card, I feel like this has come up for almost everyone so far. Surrender to the beauty of the natural world. Take a relaxing break and spend time in nature. Replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy there. That is the sense of freedom. That is, and I think with the natural world as well, it's connecting with your natural self too, is a message that I often get from this. But there's a sense of freedom with that. Again, the obsessive thinking is where if anyone is kind of avoiding saying something, because then you can end up ruminating over something, can't you? If you excuse me, if you want to get something off your chest and you don't know if you should say it or not and you're trying to avoid it, that can be where obsessive thinking comes in. Let's get one more message. Surrender your attachment to results. That feels like that rebel energy. It says the formula for success is to do all you can to make things happen, then let go of the results. Holding on too tightly to a desired outcome can sabotage it. Yeah, so that fearlessness, because if you're fearless, you're not really attached. It's like, look, I'm going to take a risk, I'm going to do it, and whatever happens, happens, I'll deal with it. And it's a bit of a rebel energy attached to that as well, of just doing what you have to do. Right, so, yep, I think I'll leave that there. I think I've said enough. Thank you for supporting the channel as always. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.